Everybody's life is an adventure. My adventure was an unusual one. I had the opportunity through my family to travel quite a bit. We went to several countries in Africa. I saw some pretty vivid images at that young age. Those vivid images give me a contrast in how I understand how people live, what justice is or can be. For instance, when I was in Ethiopia, and I was 4 years old and we were in traffic, I was in the back seat and I was eating an orange. It was hot, so I had my hand hanging out the car window with the orange in it. And all of a sudden, another boy came by, ran up and took the orange from my hand and ran away. I was left dumbfounded, and to me it felt very wrong. And I expressed my disappointment, my anger to my parents in the front seat, but my parents said, "Maybe that boy needed that orange more than you did."
This situation with the orange sparked a conversation about justice and how one had to be careful about making judgments too quickly about what was right and what was wrong. He began to realize that it would be really very difficult, if not obscene, to judge that little boy when he was very likely just trying to survive. The number of years that he spent overseas, I think, did have a way of making him see how those different moral judgments could be looked at.
Throughout this time in these other countries, my father's teaching about the rule of law. Seeing him do that, speaking with him, understanding how important the rule of law is, gave me an inkling that I would be well suited for law.
Bert was my student in a number of ways. He showed up in my U.S. history class. He knew that I sponsored mock trial. Mock trial is a program that was set up by the Bar Association here, where you argued a case and then you competed with real judges judging you in real courtrooms. He volunteered to be in it. The team worked together, and they of course relied on him as a major support, which was natural. He's a leader who doesn't make his leadership obvious, but everyone wants to know what he thinks. But it was a system of equality. We were all the same. The team was the team, and that, in large part, was what he helped make.
Despite my family's background in the law and doing mock trial, and even having gone to law school, I wasn't yet certain about what direction my career should go. In part because my father wisely told me before I went to law school, go to law school and you can do anything. You don't have to be a lawyer. Given that understanding that it doesn't necessarily limit you to be a lawyer, I was also considering other things. At the time I was doing yoga. I was considering going to India to learn from Patabi Joyce, Ashtanga Yoga, and return to America to continue teaching yoga. And at the same time, I was following up on opportunities to become a prosecutor. And so I was driving to Taos to do an interview with the DA's office. I had been listening to some audio tapes about the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is about a warrior named Arjuna. Arjuna is about to go to battle, and his cousins are on the other side of the battlefield, and he does not want to fight. And so the thrust of the story is the god Krishna engaging in an argument with Arjuna about his role, his destiny. Krishna tells him, "You are a warrior. You must fight." And Arjuna realizes, that's my role. I am a warrior. I must fight. And it's at that moment that I come over this hill, and the whole beauty of the mountain range in the sunrise opens up to me, and I realized at that moment, I am a lawyer. I must fight. It didn't turn out that I became a prosecutor in Taos because in Valencia County, there were a lot of fights to have.
He had a voracious appetite to grow and to improve. He likes trial, he wants to support victims, he cares about justice, and wants to put his energy and ability and intellectual fervor into that idea. And that's what prosecutors need. We're dealing with victims who have been hurt, their people have been killed, and you need a person who is going to really fight for their rights.
There were some great defense lawyers, renowned throughout the state, but I wasn't afraid of challenging or engaging with them, and ultimately I had quite a few victories. It really got me in tune with what our community wants in terms of justice.
He felt comfortable, he had the skill, the intellectual ability to move forward quickly, and boy, I wish I would have had a cadre of people like him in all my offices across the state.
After leaving the DA's office, I knew that I wanted to continue helping victims of wrongdoing, and so it was a natural fit for me to want to do personal injury law. So I decided, okay, it's time for me to step up and do this myself. My wife and I had 4 little ones, and she said, "You can do it." She had that confidence in me, and that was reassuring. The main challenge was doing the work to represent my clients, but also to learn the bookkeeping and accounting, how to hire, how to train, how to create systems, and putting it all together. I started lean, made wise financial decisions, and was able to build the right team. I found a wonderful set of lawyers, extremely experienced and talented advocates who also live according to our values, and that has helped us to grow to a greater degree than I ever would have imagined. In terms of our values, we call them the 5 T's. Teamwork, are we helping each other out so that we can help the client out? Talent, we need a skilled and experienced advocate who's going to do a superior job for the client, as well as the staff who help us and back us up. Truth, the center of everything we do has to be truthful, transparent, with integrity, ethical. Tenacity, if you keep doing it hard enough and long enough and well enough, you will prevail. That's what it takes to triumph. That's what we look at when we look to hire somebody. Do they have those 5 values? It's a very deliberate focus. It feels like this has been my role all along. I've been so lucky to have found something that I enjoy doing so much and care about so deeply, and also finding the group of people who do it so well together. So lucky, and I'm so grateful because I get to help people in some of the most challenging times of their lives. That's a huge responsibility that I take very seriously, and I take a lot of satisfaction and pride in knowing that it's my role, my destiny as a warrior to fight for them.